Hey, we're Shannon and Jerry Arner, hosts of the Arner Adventures podcast.
We're a minimalist couple choosing a more intentional way of living, one decision at a time.
After burning out from the nonstop grind of running our business, we realized adventure doesn't have to look loud, expensive, or extreme to matter.
Sometimes it looks like letting go, starting over, asking harder questions, or figuring things out as you move along.
We discuss life's challenges, the small shifts that change everything, and the everyday choices that help us live with less physical clutter and mental noise.
You'll hear honest conversations, thoughtful stories, and reminders that a meaningful life is built in the in-between moments, not just the highlight reel.
This is the Arner Adventures podcast, where life itself is the adventure. Well, hey everybody.
Hi everybody.
We are recording this in January, though when you're listening to it in the future, it will be the first Tuesday of February.
Yeah, in the heart of, not the heart of football season, but around football, Super Bowl time.
Super Bowl. And hopefully at this time, we have a pretty good idea that the Eagles will be in the Super Bowl.
I would love to think they are. They have to get through they got to get through a game tomorrow, a tough one. And
but by the time this lands, we will have a pretty good idea, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe we're putting this out into the world that the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl.
We're casting ourselves into the future, right?
We are.
Now. Yeah.
Although when you're listening to this, it's not the future. It's really February.
Yeah.
Okay, we digress. I love episodes like today's. I love kind of life hacks, things that
I do.
I know. And the next couple of episodes are going to be things that we have put into place to sort of make our lives easier. And we wanted to share this. I learned about this last year sometime and was like, yeah, I should implement that, and never really got the chance. And then I decided, you know what? I was sort of doing we just did a blog post about how I'm trying to get rid of to-do lists and have more about what counted lists or what counts towards success in my workday. And one of the things that I decided I was going to implement, and we've implemented, is the Life Admin Hour. So we are going to dive into everything that the Life Admin Hour is, how it changed how each of our weeks feel, and how we feel productive. But listen, I love a productivity hack. We both do. But I don't ever want to lean into it like, this is how you can get more done in your day. No, it's like getting more done of things that matter and then keep you focused on the things that matter to you. So we're going to talk about that. Are you excited, Jer?
Yes, I am. Yeah, it sounds like it's about prioritizing. Yeah. Filtering down to the things that really you don't want to let go by, and filtering out the things that can wait, that aren't pressing issues.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at.
Well, let's just go ahead and get into it.
Let's do that.
We've tried a lot of luggage over the years, and let's just say not all of it survived.
But Base did. It's the only brand we use and have for over 5 years.
Their bags are designed for real travelers like us, people who care about function, not just aesthetics, although Base is pretty chic. Their built-in weight indicator, the easy access pockets, the interior organization, every detail just works.
And they keep us from checking our luggage with their carry-on roller.
And if you're checking your luggage these days, what are you even doing? What are you doing, folks? So you can grab $20 off when you spend over $100 at arneradventures.com/base. That's BEIS. Whether it's a weekend trip or a week abroad, Base is the only thing we never leave without.
And you shouldn't either.
As you can probably imagine, a Life Admin Hour, it's like, oh my God, an admin hour that I need to sit at my desk and do a bunch of stuff. But what this is, like what a Life Admin Hour is what it sounds like. It's a block of time each week to handle the tasks that keep life moving, but don't require like creative or emotional energy. So this is not an hour that you're going to sit down and strategize your budget. It's not it, because that's separate, right? This is not an hour that you're going to sit down and strategize your goals of something that you have coming up, like a move, like we have, things like that. It's not for that. It's something that is going to help you, a protected hour of the week that is dedicated to handling these unglamorous but necessary tasks that so that you can prevent them from leaking into the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go through what it is, how we do it, and the kinds of things that we do in that life admin hour. And what's so great is because it doesn't require so much energy, it's just about getting through those important tasks. It now takes away from you thinking about those things during your work day or during time that you do need to be creative. So yeah, Jared, why don't you go through what kind of some examples of what it is and what it's not?
Well, it's going to help you with your mental clutter, and it's going to
Yes.
and it's basic fundamental tasking is what it is, and you can do the multitasking, or you can do it individually. You can just task one thing at a time, whatever works for you. I think it's better not to try to multitask too much.
I agree. We talked about that. That doesn't really exist.
That's right.
People can't really multitask in an efficient way. Studies show.
Yeah, it does. It creates a lot of mental clutter, and that's what we're trying to get away from. So you ask, well, Jared, more specifically, what is it? It's a container for boring but important tasks. It's a way to reduce mental clutter, as I've said, standing appointment with your future self.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a hustle session. I think that kind of circles back around to why multitask, because then you're going to make it into a hustle session. It's not a deep work block. It's a pretty surface level work block. It's not a full life reset.
Mm-hmm. It's not a strategy session to talk about, to work on your goals. That's fine if you schedule that, but that's not what the life admin hour is.
Right. The hour exists so that tasks stop floating around all week, asking for attention at the worst possible times.
Yeah, it's like if I, for example, we have had, I know something like the dermatology appointments. Mm-hmm. We were like, oh, we need to schedule that. Well, then when we weren't scheduling it, because we felt like we didn't have time to schedule it for some reason, it trickles in my head in the middle of work. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can be, working on an article or something, and all of a sudden I'm thinking about, that dermatology appointment that needs to be scheduled. So we're going to get more into this mental clutter that Jerry talked about. So let's go ahead and dive in, like why the mental load is the real problem. So most of the stress that come from these life admin tasks don't come from doing them. They're actually pretty easy to do. It comes from the remembering it. So when something stays undone, your brain keeps reopening that tab. Like you can think of it like your computer tabs that are up. It's like, oh yeah, it keeps bringing it back up. So even while you're resting, you're watching TV, you're trying to be present, there's this quiet reminder, or maybe not quiet, that something still needs to happen. So the life admin hour gives your brain a sense of certainty. It's not, oh, I'll do it sometime, but I know exactly when this is going to get handled. So that alone reduces this like low grade tension.
Well, I think it's like when you journal too, you realize, oh, I had a lot of stuff floating around in my head that was blocking out from the present moment. And that's kind of the goal we're going with here. So you want to sort some things that are, you might not even realize they were floating around in your head, because sometimes things do that and you don't really pay attention to them. They're just there floating around.
You know what we have done, and we're going to get into some of the things that go into it, but what we've done is we have like, we do have a list of the things that are life admin. So if it pops up in your head while you're trying to be present in something else, just write it under that. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take care of that during my life admin hour. But we're going to keep this simple, consistent, and talk about, what kinds of things go into the life admin hour. So like, as we said, if a task requires creativity, planning, emotional processing, it doesn't belong here. So Jared, why don't you go through the things that usually make the list?
Yeah, I see a hand raised out there. Somebody's asking what usually makes the list. Well, okay, that's a good question. Paying bills and checking accounts. That's one thing. Scheduling or confirming appointments. Ordering groceries for pickup and delivery. That's kind of a fun one. Mm-hmm. Another fun one, returning library books and picking up new ones.
Ooh, we love that one.
Especially on the first day of the month, because they put new ones out on the shelf.
Yeah, I did this one during
Yeah.
my life admin hour this week. I
Uh-huh.
picked up you returned them for me during your life admin hour,
Yeah.
and then I picked up new ones when I went.
Back to the not so fun ones. Opening and dealing with mail. Moreover, unsubscribing from mail.
The reason that, so we do open and deal with our mail every day because we don't get a lot of mail, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
But what I have put into the life admin hour is when we get them, things that I need to unsubscribe from. Because if I stop and unsubscribe right then, which I used to, it takes a little bit more time and starts interrupting my day. So what I do is put them there if I need to unsubscribe and email them or whatever and say, take me off your list. And I do that once a week during that admin hour because it doesn't require any thought.
Yeah, and that's great. Great way to organize your brain. Once again, more things: returns, refunds, and follow-ups. Updating calendars.
Yeah, the updating calendars actually came from our therapist, where she suggested once a week we go through and compare our calendars with each other.
Yeah.
So that we're on the same pace. We're kind of being accountable to each other for what the other one might need support with or anything. But we do this once a week as well.
Yeah, which is tough with us because Shannon's very digitized. I still use the Mayan calendar, and no, I'm just kidding. But
A paper one.
a paper one, yeah.
Whatever works for you.
Uh-huh.
But that's why we have to get on the same page and coordinate things.
Yeah, that's right. Clearing out flagged emails. That's one I got to work on. Handling forms or admin heavy paperwork.
Yeah. So again, it might not be things that require a lot of thought, but if there's like some kind of paperwork that you need to do for, I don't know, your retirement or something that you need to do that you just need to fill out. Like, or sometimes, you know how when you have a doctor's appointment, they want you to do the preliminary paperwork. It's that kind of thing. Doesn't require a lot of thought, but it requires that time. So it's just those tasks, those sometimes mundane tasks. And like we said, we keep the running list throughout the week. So those are examples, but when something pops up, it goes on that list instead of bouncing around in our heads.
Okay, so breaking it all down, it's important to know when to do this stuff and why consistency matters more than timing. So we've learned that the exact day matters less than the fact that it is protected and guarded.
That protected hour.
That protected hour. You guard that with your life, that hour. Some weeks it happens earlier. Other weeks it slides closer to the weekend. It can work any way, and it's not a one size fits all, as we say. Whatever's working for you and whatever's working for you within that particular week. What matters is that it's treated like a real commitment and not just a filler task.
Yeah. So what I do, and I don't know if you do this, Jer, we do have separate life admin hours because our schedules are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Sometimes at the end of the day on a Friday, sometimes on Saturdays, I look at the following week and I look at what I have coming up and I decide then when is that life admin hour going to be scheduled in the following week. So I like for it to be, on certain days, but sometimes I'm like, well, I can't do that on Friday because I have, we have a press trip coming up or whatever it is that is going to take that. So I might say, well, it might be better to take care of this on a Monday. Whatever it is, once it's on the calendar, it stops becoming negotiable. It is a non-negotiable. That boundary is what makes the system work. If it doesn't get scheduled, it doesn't get done. That's like so many things in life.
Right.
Right,
yeah.
And then guess what? That mental clutter creeps right back in.
Yeah. I do my admin hour between 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning because that's the high spirit hour, and I sometimes draw inspiration from that. I'm kidding. I haven't done that or even thought about it till this second, and it just was
the high spirit hour. I think that is funny because they do say that.
They do say
the witching
that, yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how much admin you'd get done because I don't know unless you were working with some overseas folks.
That's right. Or if I draw any inspiration from the spirit activity, I'm not sure if I would or not. It's kind of a fun thing to say just off the cuff, though.
You are pretty good about things like that.
Yeah, it's a good little filler anyway. Back to business, right? This is a good one. I like this. How we make it feel less annoying. That's an important one for both of us.
Yes.
Yeah, because we annoy easily. This hour does not need to feel cold or rigid to be effective. we do a few small things that make it easier to show up. Same spot most weeks.
Most weeks. Like we just said, we do try to make it the same spot, but,
Yeah, but it varies. But we're routine people, so it typically lands at a similar spot.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea already made. Ooh, I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
The phone on Do Not Disturb. That's something I'm getting better with. One playlist we can only use for admin time.
Yeah, so like I've talked before on previous episodes, probably a long time ago though, about the Focus Flow playlist that I have. So if I am just doing some tasks, I actually use it for focusing, but I like the lo-fi music, and so I will use it for mundane things when the admin time is at home. Admin time for me is also like running to the post office and stuff. So I'm not like running around with earbuds in my ears listening to lo-fi music. You could do that. Yeah. So we also group similar tasks together. So we're not constantly shifting gears, calls together. I love it when we do have our life admin hour at the same time, because you can make calls for like our appointments, and then I'll do the online stuff that we need to do.
Yeah.
Bulk those emails together, like when you're replying to just the task emails. We're not talking about work emails, by the way. We're talking about these emails where you just need to reply to somebody about an appointment or whatever. The money task, the paying the bills, whatever. The goal is flow, not perfection. Like we've said before, Jenna Kutcher said, done is often better than perfect. And that's kind of what we're talking about here.
Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah. Because you can get hung up on perfectionism. If you give yourself a finish point, you got to go, well, whatever's there at that moment,
I want to talk about something that Jerry and I were talking about this when I was reading more about other people and how they stay successful with their life admin hour. I just wanted to point this out. I thought this was interesting. I don't know if it would work for us, but you may be listening to this and going, that is what I'm going to do. I have seen where people get a group of friends together, or I don't know if they don't have to be friends, I guess.
Yeah.
Get a group of people together at like someone's house or somewhere, and they'll bring their laptops and their phones, and they do their life admin hour together. So sometimes people will bring lunch, or they'll bring snacks or wine or whatever, and they'll do their admin tasks together. I think that could work for some things. My problem is I would get distracted and start talking and all of that. But I did see where people do that. So it works for some people to have some camaraderie during their life admin hour. I think me and you could do it because we're working sort of on the same things. Yeah. So if that sounds like something that would resonate with you, maybe try that.
Well, yeah, it's a fine idea. And I think it depends on the person. Yeah, some people might work better in a group situation like that too.
Kind of like a study group, I guess.
Yeah. And that way you do get to bounce ideas. You probably come away with, hey, that's a good idea to add I can't think of a good name. So and so said about
Tom.
Yeah, Tom. I was looking for something a little better than Tom.
Francois.
We'll go with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, what changed after we started doing this? The biggest change was not efficiency. It was relief. Oh, relief.
Totally.
Yeah. Weekends started feeling lighter because there were fewer loose ends. Evenings felt calmer because we weren't mentally listing things that we'd forgotten to do. We stopped carrying that subtle guilt that shows up when you try to rest, but no, there are still things hanging over you like a dark cloud. This 1 hour quietly supports the rest of our week. It's always anything like that can support the rest of your week. This is just one key one for us is always good. Make space for slow mornings, real downtime, and yes, as always, adventure too.
Yeah, well, you don't want to be on an adventure thinking about how, oh my God, I got to renegotiate my internet bill, or, I got to make sure I order our groceries. You don't want to be thinking about that stuff. You want to go, you know what? Yeah. I know that that's done because I had my life admin hour.
Nobody wants to carry their laptop on a kayak.
No.
Right? Mm-hmm.
So if 1 hour feels like too much. Now, I will tell you, an hour flies by. This week when I was, and we've only let's go back. We've only started doing this in 2026. So it's been a little less than a month that we've been doing this. So these are the things that we've learned so far. But we never have an hour that feels like too much. But I know that some people might think that, like they've got other obligations or whatever. But if an hour sounds overwhelming, start smaller. So try 30 minutes. We have the Pomodoro timer. It's linked in the show notes. You can use the Pomodoro method if that helps, where, okay, I'm going to do this block of 25 minutes to do this, and then I'm going to take a break, then I'm going to do another 25 minutes. Do one longer catch-up session once, and then maintain it. So some weeks are going to be lighter, some weeks are going to be heavier. This past week, I actually went a little bit over my admin hour. But the point, again, is not doing it perfectly. It's giving those tasks a home so that it does eliminate that mental clutter.
That's right. And a small habit with outsized calm. The Life Admin Hour isn't flashy, y'all. It will never make a highlight reel.
You want it to.
Yeah.
I can tell you want it to.
The way I paused?
Yeah.
Oh, no highlight reel. But it probably shouldn't. No, it should be subtle and tucked away in a little corner. And the highlight reel will come because of the time that you freed up.
I was just thinking that.
That's right. That's where your highlight reel is. Your highlight reel will be spiced up because you have uncluttered your mind.
Yes.
With your non-flashy admin hour.
Oh, I love that.
But it's one of those small systems that supports the life you want to live. Less chaos, less mental noise, more room to be present. And honestly, that feels like a win worth protecting. If this episode resonated with you or you know someone who might need to hear it, feel free to share it along. That truly means a lot to us.
You can also support the podcast by leaving a 5-star review or rating on the platform you're listening on. It helps more than you probably realize.
Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future episodes. You can always find us, the show notes, and the brands that support the podcast at warneradventures.com.
Until next time, here's to the small adventures, the hard ones, and everything in between.
Bye-bye.